Hi, I'm Slack, that's Tony, and welcome to Smog Vlog. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Smok Micro One starter kit. Right, welcome back. So yeah, as we said, we're reviewing the Smok Micro One kit, which is a combination of the R80 mod and the TFV4 Micro, not to be confused with the TFV4 Mini or the full-bodied TFV4. Without further ado, let's dive down and unbox that shit.
Well, okay, here we are with the Smok Micro One, also known as the R80 and Micro TFV4, at least that's what the kit comprises. Taking you round the box, nice and shiny, nice and shiny. On the side here it tells you about downloading the BEC app from the Apple Store or Google Store. On the back, list of contents, obviously the R80, the TFV4, actually gives you fused claptons, which I think is fucking awesome. Stainless steel as well. You also get an extension module for the TFV4 micro tank, which is awesome. The wordy things, standard wordy things, charging cable, whatnot, blah blah blah. Slack's favourites, scratch and sniff code on the side here. Right, let's get in this bad boy. And there she is. Shiny. Ooh, Slack's favourite tasty treats. Enjoy those later. Right, take this out and place into one. So yeah, into the juicy underbelly of the box we have the standard smoke, apparently, wordy thing. Tells you all about the R80 mod and the tank, but yeah, we'll put that to one side. Next up, we have the warranty card. Yeah. Right. USB cable, out of the way. What have we got here? Okay, in the bag we've got what looks to be the extension module for the tank, silicone O-rings, and a spare silicone top bit to the TFV4. I don't know what we call that. Silicone. Yeah. Moving on. Spare glass. Fuck me. Oh, spare cock ring. Lovely. Put him back in there. Right, which one do we have here? In the box we have the 0.25 stainless steel coil, which is a fairly chunky little bastard for such a small tank. Chuck him back in there because then that means loaded in the TFV4 is the 0.3 ohm fused Clapton dual coil. Yeah, in actual fact it does actually say pre-installed on the on the box. Right, focusing on the TFV4, you've got your adjustable drip tip, adjustable airflow, which I found on the original version actually killed the flavour somewhat, or actually quite a lot. Interesting, this has got a plastic twin skin drip tip. The original was all metal, the inner was metal and the outer was metal. With this one, I don't know, that top bit could be Delrin, but inside is definitely plastic, what looks to be clear plastic, so it will be interesting to see how that performs. Lovely twin O-ring on the connector there. So if we chuck him back in there, lovely and stiff, that's what we like to see. And then moving down the tank to the filling, if you see a little crack line there, that's how it pulls apart. And then there's the silicone protector and kidney shaped filler for the tank. Look at the size of that tank, that is so tiny. Well, it is marketed as the micro, so it'd be interesting to fit that extension bit to see how much that brings it up to. stiff airflow. That's nice. I mean, you set it and then you're not worried about knocking it. It will stay where it's supposed to stay. There's a good couple of mil there on the 510 at the bottom, which is good. Slightly recessed on the tank, so hopefully this isn't too sharp. No, it doesn't feel sharp. Pulling him apart, yeah, it looks fairly clean inside there. I mean, we'll give it a clean up anyway, just because that's how we roll. Yep, fused dual Claptons. Now I'm going to try it and see. Right, apparently that's about as close as I can get it. Now, I don't know if you can see that. I'll try and get it in the post edits to zoom in a bit further. But you can see the heating coil inside the coil itself. And this is your 0.3 fused Claptons, and it looks pretty tidy. Right, coming back out again to these, the tank extension glass and the chimney extension. If we pop this glass out. Right, after 5 minutes of struggling, it's a good job that it does come with spare O-rings for the tank, because if you look here, you can actually see that part of the O-ring has actually been left on the tank, whether that's to do with the manufacturing process or... Well, it's definitely got to be something to do with that, because it wasn't me. I didn't make it stick to the fucking inside of there, and the O-ring is looking fairly fucking chewed up. Just there. I don't know if that's in focus. Hopefully it is. Hopefully you can see it. But anyway, this was about swapping it over to the larger extension. And that's it. It's so simple. Just really hope it doesn't fucking leak. Right, moving over to the R80. Let's get that out of the way. Nice and shiny. Yeah, there's the top. Usually a spring-loaded 5/10 centre pin. Venting on the bottom. Oh, they're giving you numbers now. Limited edition. R80 temperature control. And there's the side of the device. Yeah. Very nice. I haven't got a fucking clue how to use it yet. That will be for later, possibly Slack, to give us some informative button pushes. But yeah, it's the standard, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. It's the standard Smok menu. Temp mode, wattage mode, temp mode, wattage mode. So no actual mech mode this time. Ramping up to 80, down to... It's a very familiar sort of feel to it. And then across, that's coil select, temperature hard, max, minimum, soft, normal. I won't go through this because I don't want to deprive Slack of the pleasure of giving us the button pushes, because it's awesome. It's awesome when he does that. What I will provide us with, though, in this instance, in comparison with the original Smok M80 Plus, there is not a whole lot of difference to the device. Okay, they've put a bit of chrome up the top. Looking at the side, virtually identical. Pretty fucking identical, actually. There doesn't feel to be a lot of difference. Doesn't feel to be a lot of difference at all in these units. I wouldn't be surprised if they've used the same body. They've definitely used the same press. It's just it's missing the ridges on the back of the old M80, which used to be there. But yeah, the similarities are striking. Okay, they've updated the screen. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, not a whole lot of innovation I'm seeing going on here. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's knock it back to the studio and find out what the hell they're doing.
Right, thanks for that elegant unboxing, Tony. Right, okay, as it's a kit, you've got the mod and the ATI there. We're going to start off with the ATI, then we'll move on to the mod, and then we'll talk about the stuff that their powers combined makes the kit itself. So if you're not interested in one part of this, don't forget we put time code in all of our videos so you can skip to the bit you are interested in. Anyway, without further ado, TFV4 Micro. Let's talk about the coil options this has got. Tony?
So the first coil that it actually comes fitted with is the fused dual Clapton reading a 0.3 ohm.
Which is good from 30 to 60 watts. Similarly, it comes with a stainless steel 0.25 coil, which is also good from 30 to 60 watts.
The other one that's not included in the kit is the micro mouth to lung coil. It's a single Clapton reading a 1.2 ohm.
Also available is exactly the same mouth to lung coil on a 1.8 ohm.
And lastly, for the coil options at least, is the Micro NI 200, which reads a 0.1 ohm.
Yeah, and that's what we found so far. I would imagine we'll probably see some more coils coming out. It'd be nice to see some ceramics and stuff, you know? Maybe some titaniums. But for now, that's what we can find.
Okay, next up is the RBA section. Now, while not available and included in this kit or the other Flavour kit that's available on the website, it is going to be a separate purchase.
Or purchases, because there's actually two kits.
First up on the RBAs is the rebuildable dual coil for the Micro TFV4, which comes preloaded with a 0.35 ohm coil.
And the other RBA section that's available, they call the Micro RCA, I guess C for Clapton, and that comes pre-built with a 0.6 ohm coil, 0.62 actually. So while not included in the kit, it's nice to have that option available to you. So yeah, good, more than one option too. Nice.
Okay, so next up for you guys is the airflow for the TFV4 and Micro One. It's got 4 airflow valves, airflow holes on the bottom airflow control valve. Not entirely unrestrictive. It's okay. There's a little bit of resistance there. It's also got the top airflow control valve on the drip tip, which will kill your flavour completely.
Yeah, where it's so close to the drip tip, you're basically just breathing in fresh air there. It's not like some of the more recent designs where it channels it right down. He says looking at it just to check. So for both the ATI and the drip tip itself, the adjustment is like a non-clicky, just sort of fairly stiff resistance, sort of turny round as much as you want, keeps going round and round. The only downside with the drip tip, maybe it's a good thing you have to take the drip tip off to be able to get in to adjust it, or it's too fiddly. But yeah, they work fine.
Moving on now to tank capacity. It comes pre-fitted with a 3.5mm tank glass, but also inside the kit they include the 5mm. And
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not much bigger and you get quite a lot more capacity, which is good.
So yeah, considering you're only increasing by 1.5 mils, it still keeps the tank a really tiny size, which is, yeah, good. It's good for the overall of the kit, keeping it nice and tight and small and...
Micro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another small word. Moving along.
Okay, on to ease of filling. Now, ease of filling with this is exactly the same as the TFV4 itself, with the swivel off top, so you're not having to hold the top when it's off. It's a little bit of a faff to get used to it and get it unlocked and stuff. Where it's micro, you're a bit worried about breaking it, but in reality it does feel pretty sturdy, and the filling mechanism is a clean one. Even with the glass bottle dripper, it just works really well. So yeah, this is one of the better top filling systems that's out there.
Yeah, for those that are familiar with the original TFV4 and also the TFV4 Mini, it's got the standard kidney shaped filler in the top, and like I said, for those people that are familiar with those systems, it's exactly the same, just smaller.
And it's a good system. Right, the sturdiness of the tank itself is pretty good. It's quite lightweight, so it doesn't feel mega strong. However, it does seem quite robust, you know. So they've balanced it quite well, I think, between being lightweight and portable and sort of strong and sturdy. So yeah, it feels solid enough, but it doesn't feel like a mega expensive thing. Not like the Mermaid, not like the Crown, that sort of thing, or not like the original TFV4. But the point is, it's a micro one. It's supposed to be small. It's supposed to be lightweight, and it still given that lightweight sort of form factor, still feels relatively sturdy.
Moving on now to the drip tip. I mean, we discussed it further up, but we'll come to it again. It's twin skin drip tip, which is similar to the original in as much as it's a twin skin, but it's not made out of metal this time. In theory, that should help us with burning lip syndrome, some of us anyway, but this one inside is made out of plastic as opposed to the original being made out of metal.
Yeah, so Tony touched on the burning lip thing. If you get it sat on your lips right, it's fine, absolutely fine. But I don't vape the same every single hit, and I've burnt myself quite a number of times on this, which is exactly the same problem I had with the original TFV4. It's those twin skin ones. That indicates that there's, you know, it's going to chuck some hot stuff right at you. It's you know, hot vape, and that's fine. You just got to remember about it when you're vaping and make sure you get your lips on it properly. We'll probably be doing a heat test in a bit anyway, so we'll see how burnt we get.
Burnt is probably a bit strong. I mean, for those of us that aren't sensitive flowers, you know, it's vapour at the end of the day. What other things that are important to note about it is that it's got a double O-ring on the 510 connector, and it is a standard 510, so if the whole airflow on the control tip is not your bag, you can swap it out for your favourite.
Right, flavour of the device. Now, I actually prefer this to the original TFV4. I think with it being a bit smaller form factor, you know, it just seems to have a little bit more flavour for me personally. That's, you know, I like it. It's not the most flavourful of tanks, despite having the slightly restrictive airflow. You know, there are definitely similar tanks that kick out more flavour. However, it does have good flavour. The flavour is consistent, and you know, it's not really a bad point. It's just, you know, it doesn't score top marks.
Like Slack said, because it's the smaller tank, you've got the reduced airflow, which will increase the flavour of your e-juice. That being said, don't take it for granted that means you're going to be getting less vapour, because this little bastard still chucks. Which is a good segue into Vapour Production. Over to Slack.
Yeah, so the Vapour Production on here is pretty good. It's not as good as something like the Mermaid, but then again, we're talking about a different ballpark. You know, the coils that come with this run from 30 to 60 watts, whereas the Mermaid runs up to 100 watts. So, you know, you're in a different league there. But that said, the Vapour Production out of it is pretty good. You know, it gives a nice vape. It's, yeah, a bit hot at times, but not too hot. And yeah, I'm quite happy. Maybe we should give it a hit.
Another important thing to note is the addition of the RBA sections that are going to be available for this. So options there on kicking out some wicked clads.
Wicked clads, bro. Right, something we did for the Raphael video was a heat test where we just took hit after hit after hit to see how it dealt with, you know, heat, and also that's a good way to look at how it deals with flavour and wicking and vapour production, you know, over time. Main reason we're going to test this is for the heat of the tank itself, what happens to the mod, and the heat around the drip tip. So without further ado, let's start the hit chain.
Just to be saying something, we've got the dual Claptons loaded and we're about 55 watt.
55.5 watts.
Precisely. Good vapour, good flavour from a micro kit.
Not too hot when you're taking the vape in either.
And as long as you've got your lips loaded correctly, then yeah, it doesn't burn either.
And so far, I've managed to get my lips correct every hit.
Yeah, no noticeable heat, not from the drip tip at all.
Starting to get there. I started to notice the heat that time.
I did not.
Yeah. At the end of my hit, I'm getting a bit... Maybe it's just the way that I've got my lips. Okay, so heat of the tank.
It's fine.
The tank is fine. That's really cold, actually. I mean, look, you know, we just finished vaping it, and the room, you probably can't even see that through the clouds. But yeah, the tank is really cool. Top of the mod itself is icy cold still. Drip tip on the outside, where you're supposed to put your lips, is nice. In fact, it's not even too bad on the inside. So yeah, it's dealing with the heat okay, and that was, you know, prolonged hit. So yeah, it's good. Deals with it well.
Next up for you, spits and swallows. Leaks and spits, of which this has none.
Yep, so far absolutely no, it's not been spitting while we've been. When you leave it for a while, pick it up, that first vape, no spitting, which is also good. Leave it lying down, which you need to do to charge it, and no leaks, you know, so the filling system's really clean as well, so you're not going to get covered in e-juice when you're filling up unless you do something really wrong. So yeah, leaks and spits is definitely a winner. Alright, last bit about tanks we usually say is the 510 connector, and it's got a nice flat silvery 510 connector with yeah, good threads, so not a lot to say about that. And without further ado, let's start talking about the mod itself, the R80.
Ooh. And so now onto the tech specs. It's 80 watts with temperature control and adjustable TCR.
And let's not forget the all-important built-in puff counter and that life-changing date and time function.
Date and time, Slack?
Date and time tone.
Wow.
Right, usually at this point we dive down and show you the button presses, but in the interest of time, seeing as this is a kit with a new tank and a new mod, we're not going to bother. This is the standard Smok menu. 3 clicks and you're into the menu, and then you just cycle through what you want and select it. It's got the wattage mode, the temp control mode. You select what type of coil you've got, if it's nickel, titanium, stainless, and then you just flip out and say whether it's dual or single core. It's just the same as every other one, with the addition of a clock setting, which seems to be the standard now on Smok menus. So we're not going to bother with that. If you want to see it, we can certainly upload a separate video, but for now let's just go on and talk about it.
Moving along now to button quality. So they're fairly cheap looking. Buttons don't rattle as such, but they work well with a gentle clicky action. So yeah,
there's our gentle. They work, so that's the main thing. That's what you want from buttons, really. Right, the 510 connector for the mod itself is the standard Smok affair, and it works really well. You know, there's no separate cup on top as you saw in the up close, but you know, it works. It just works, nice and simple.
Nice and quickly now for you, the firmware update on it. It is firmware updatable, so you know it's same as you would charge it. You just hook it up to your computer. Smok are fairly decent with their firmware updates. They invest quite nicely in their products, so it will be updated for the life of the product with any new and funky shit that comes out for it.
Right, temp control for the device. It does the big three. It does your titanium, your nickel, and your stainless steel. Out the box, nickel and titanium work really well. Really happy with the performance of that. Again, you can select whether it's single or dual coil, and yeah, it just works really well. Stainless steel, however, I felt was a bit underperforming out of the box. The out of the box settings were just a bit cold, a bit underpowered. Fixable though, because this mod has built-in TCR adjustment. So for stainless steel, we needed to adjust it. For the rest of them, actually out the box, it's perfect. So yeah, it's good. Good implementation of temp control. Okay,
so on to battery life now. It's fitted with a 4000, underwhelming when being used in temperature control mode.
Yeah, it chews through the battery a bit quicker than you would expect for a 4000 milliamp hour battery, really.
Also, this seems a bit of a step back considering Smok brought out the M80, which had a larger battery, 4400 milliamp hour battery, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's not terrible, it's not amazing, it's alright. And usually we mention about the battery cover quality, and it's a sealed unit, so you know it's got screws so you can get into stuff, but you know it's not really user serviceable, so it's fine, no issues. Brilliant.
So now we're going to move on to the kit as a whole, both the tank and the battery, and give you our impressions of that. And without further ado,
which is good. You know, it's small. I mean, it's so familiar. The M80 sort of feel to it. Fits in the hand nice. You know, you can tuck your little finger under it. It doesn't really rub on your knuckles, Matt. Yeah, it's just nice. It's lightweight. The tank itself, the micro, is nice and lightweight, and it just feels good. In terms of weight for the device, I would say that this is lighter than just the battery for the Tesla Nano 100 watt. So you know, even with the tank and some juice in it, it's lightweight. You know. Which is nice. We like that.
Yeah. Portable.
Little. Yellow. Different.
Yellow.
Neoprene. Yeah, Wayne's World. Never mind. Moving on.
Moving on now to style for the Smok Micro One. It's fairly plain. There's been no innovation cues taken. It's basically the M80, just minus a bit of ribbing on the backside for it.
Yeah, I mean, they have really not taken any risks with this. They've just gone with a very plain, very sort of familiar sort of looking thing. It's all right. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look good either. It doesn't, you don't see it and think, wow, I must have that. It's really unusual, really different. You know, they haven't taken any risks.
They've chosen the safe option, which is fair enough. They're entitled to do that. In terms of colour options, it's available in black, white, silver...
And red.
And red.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only thing this has got going for it really is from there it almost looks like a hip flask. So, you know, it's got some element of cred, but, you know, it's yeah, lacking in the style department, really.
Moving on now to warranty for it. It's 3 months, apparently.
Yep, so it's a standard 3-month warranty with the usual exceptions of if you drop it, you bought it, you know. Good.
Okay, guys, now we've reached that special stage in the show where we sum up with pros and cons. As always, we'll start with cons, so we're leaving on a high with the pros. First up for you, on the cons list, Slack's battery life.
Yeah, so the battery life could have been better. You know, the temp control really does sort of kill it down, I guess, all the calculations. And for a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, it doesn't really feel like one. But then again, it's not terrible, and it's USB chargeable nice and easily, so it's not awful, but it could have been better.
The next big con has got to be the styling for it. I mean, there's, like we said earlier, no innovation's been taken in it. It's just the standard plain box. But hey, it is what it is.
Next up on the cons list is going to be the stainless steel performance in temp control mode out of the box. Obviously stainless works fine on power mode, however, yeah, underperforming. Luckily we can offset that with adjustable TCR so you can make it work how you want.
Next up there's got to be the heat through the drip tip. Although I didn't suffer myself, it can be an issue for some, especially when your lips are malfunctioning and not, you know, sucking a mod.
Next up on the cons list, Tony has something to say about the buttons.
The buttons, while clicky, feel a bit hollow once it's activated, and maybe a little bit rattly as well.
I don't find them at all rattly.
Not rattly like that, but click it and release. It's just hollow. And like it, the sound is reverbing within the button itself. I just don't like it. It's not solid.
Yeah, I think it feels alright, so I think this is down to a personal preference. I like a clicky button. I prefer a clicky button than this, but it's adequate. Does the job.
Enough said.
And last up on the cons list is the USB port, which they've put on the bottom. Now, it's not a showstopper, but you've got to lie it down to charge it. I would prefer it to have just been on the side at the bottom, so you just have it stood up, plug it in. I guess where it's fairly thin, they don't want it falling over. It does take that worry away, but yeah, it's annoying having to lie your shit down.
Okay, that's enough ragging on the Micro One. Moving now firmly on to pros. First up has got to be the size and the portability that it's got going for it. Yes, it is very fucking portable. It is a brilliant size. The top pocket action all the way.
Yeah, it's called a micro kit, and it really is. You know, that's it. Brilliant. Pack of fag size, you know. Next up is going to be the menu system. Yeah, 3 clicks and you're in that menu and you can get to all of your things. There is a proper menu system. You know, no dedicated menu button, but you don't need it. 3 clicks is fine. I love having a proper menu. That's always a winner for me. You just get to exactly straight to what you want, which is good. And not forgetting that all-important puff counter.
Well, we're in the neck of the woods for the menu. Has got to be the actual menu screen as well. The fact that they're using OLEDs, which is a huge improvement over the original M80, which used a horrible bastard screen.
Next up on the pros list is going to be the temp control. Out of the box, nickel and titanium are awesome. In fact, I'm going to get a titanium on here now so we can show you.
Okay, so Slack's got Hellboy loaded on here. It's got a dual coil.
Yeah, titanium. It comes out at 0.1 ohm. We've got it currently set to 250 degrees C, so let's give it a hit.
He's going to give it a hit. New coil up, same down. Oh yeah.
So both times that temperature was absolutely consistent. As you can see, it's kicking. It's got room to turn it up, goes up to 315 degrees C or down to like 160 or something. It's just brilliant. Yeah, works really, really well.
Next up for you is the support for the device. It's got excellent available options with the 2 RBAs, a selection of coils, probably more in the works as well. Smok is not exactly a young company. They've been going a while, and they do invest in their devices as well. So, and it's got the firmware as well. So,
yeah, I was just about to chime in with that. Yeah, a company that releases firmware for their mods rather than just chucking it out and saying, well, you get that with 2 coils and that's it, and then we'll get you to buy something new next time. Yeah, they're not doing that. They are supporting it, so that's definitely good. And I guess the last thing from me on the pros list, I'm probably going to get some flack for this, but I prefer the TFV4 Micro over the full-bodied TFV4. I just think it performs better. It's just nicer. I prefer it.
There's definitely something to be said for the flavour that you get through this versus the original. Okay guys, so that kind of wraps up our review for the Smok Micro One. There's just one thing left. How much did it cost?
Yeah, so this is going to set you back about 50 quid over at New World Vaping, which I think is a pretty good price for this kit. You know, you get the tank and the mod and, you know, a couple of coils in there. You get the changeable glass, the extension glass, you know. I think that's really good value for money for what you get for the performance it gives you.
So, thank you for watching. We hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. You hope you like our reviews and what we're doing. If you do, please drop us a like and subscribe, because we're all about that sort of shit. Also, follow us on the social medias.
Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.
He's doing it this week.
We are quite chatty.
He's doing that as well. Crikey.
Anyway, for now, thank you very much for watching Smog Vlog. Let's do pictures.
Yes.
Alright, come on then. Who's introing you?
It's your turn, isn't
Is
it?
it? Okay. Hi. Fuck. Hi. No, I have to put that there. What? I can't wave with this hand. It goes off the screen. It's really annoying. It's hi. Hi, I'm Slack. That's Tony. Yeah. Come on. Meow. Hi, I'm Slack, and that's Tony, and welcome. And hi, I'm Slack. That's Tony, and welcome to Smog Vlog. I'm going to try again. Hi, I'm Slack. That's Tony, and welcome to Smog Vlog. What?
I forgot to wave.
You don't need to. I'll just give a courteous nod.
I know, but I'm much more formal than that.
Yeah, it's because the only reason I don't wave is because it'd just be like that.
Because you have such a problem with waving.
Only on the camera. Right, anyway.
What about that? Coming back out. Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Right, okay, let's see how this goes. Fuck.
Optimistic as always.
There we go. I just hear that.
As soon as I hear that, I know you're going to go. Yeah, sometimes you'll pull it back from that, and you're like, no, suck it in. Come on, Slack.
It's not directions to porno, is it?
Fluff up.
I noticed you haven't bothered setting yours.
I didn't for that one, because I gave it straight to you. I said it for that one. So fuck you. That was a bit of an OCD thing. As soon as I clicked into it, I was like, oh fuck. Alright, 2000. Because it's set to 2005 for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't live with that. The buttons don't rattle as such.
Shall I take Temp Control then? Temp Control monkey.
Aficionado.
Yeah, okay.
I prefer aficionado. If you want to go with monkey.
Yeah.
However, I'm the one with monkey face. Notice how I'm not doing monkey face.
Yeah, it's because I moved the monitor.
You made it bigger.
And moved the monitor. This is like a winner.
I'll tell you what, if you put it back to the picture of us, I'd be squinting like angry monkey face with poo in hand.
Are you introduced? Yes, you are. Make sure it's all straight. Don't want to annoy Tony.
Actually, fuck it, I'll just put it off a little bit.
Yeah, just retainer. Okay, so I've got Hellboy built with a dual core. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, so I've chucked Hellboy on here. It's got a dual core. Dual core, I keep saying core. You can tell I work in IT now. Okay, so I've just chucked Hellboy on here. It's got a dual coil titanium. It comes out to 1 ohm. No. 1 ohm. Fucking hell.
Okay, so we've got a quad core i7 loaded.
Alright, come on. Okay, so I've just chucked Hellboy on here. It's 2 titanium coils. Fucking hell.